Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're featuring a very cool French brand. These are Yema, and I think they're just quite an interesting, and they have some really cool watches, including their own in-house movements, which I think is always astounding, especially for smaller brands. This one here is called the Yema Superman. Now, to be fair, I know what you mean. I'm not a big fan of the Superman name, but it's a Superman 500. And it's a little powerhouse of a watch. I think it's really super cool. Now, as a brand, they've been around for about 75 years. And basically, they were even once, I think in the late 80s, were owned by Seiko. Now, they brought themselves out from Seiko in 2005, and in 2011, they actually introduced a couple of in-house movements. Now, I was lucky enough to meet up with them at Watch Pro in London the other day, and they showed me their new tourbillon. And that was amazing. Their own, kind of in-house movement. They also have some really nice micro rotor movement, which just looks fantastic with its black finishing. I was super impressed. Now, this one here is called the Superman 500. Not so keen on the name, to be fair, but as I say, it's a real cracking little powerhouse of a watch. Sizes, we're talking 39mm, though it is available in a larger size. Thickness, now excluding the glass, it's only about 11mm, but you've got a bit more kind of on there with the dome of the glass, so you're talking about 13.4mm roughly. The lug to lug is 48mm, and the strap size is only 19mm, but as you can see from this bracelet here, it does flare out. Now, there are other bracelets available, and one of your ones is this, and I think it's a really cracking nice bracelet. It's also featured on that other model there. You can also get rubber straps and leather straps as well for this watch. Now let's take a look at that dial. The dial itself, I think, is really, really nice. It's simple, clean and classic. It definitely has that kind of vintage theme going on there. And what I mean by that is you don't have really, white indices. They are slightly creamed, which gives it that colour. One thing I would say about the indices in our Mark II with the loom pip, the loom is strong with this one. It really is. It's got a really good solid loom to it. Quite impressed, actually. I do like the little hints of red. Very reminiscent of the Red Submariner, and you also have that little bit on there in red as well. Overall, I think it's really nice. Their own in-house movement in this is the YEMA2000, and it doesn't feature a date. Now, it doesn't feature... also, when you pull the crown out, there is no ghost date on there. What I mean by it is when you pull the crown out, you go straight into manual wind and hand setting. So to be aware, because I know some people always ask me about that one. So I just think it's clear, simple and nice. You've just got this nice hour track, minute markers, a minimal amount of text on there. So it's a win-win for me, definitely, on that dial. Now, as we come past that, the crystal, wow, check that out. It's got a really cool crystal on there. It's actually 2.6mm thick, so it's quite a chunky crystal, because this watch, even though it's, I say, the actual thickness of the metal parts of the case, 11mm, it's 500 meters of water resistant it has, sorry, in this little watch. And I think that is absolutely superb. And it's such a cool watch. And I say the price of this watch as well is really, really good. It's $1,250 US. Now that equates to sterling roughly around about just over £1,000. If this was under £1,000, it would be a very much a candidate for my favourite diver under 1,000. I think it's personally that good. Now, as we come past this, as you can see, this bezel here has a little trick, and I do think it's cool. It does have, I believe it's an aluminium insert here, but you might notice this little arrangement here. And now, if I try and turn the bezel, it's locked. So if you want to release a bezel, you have to release the crown slightly, because this acts as a little lock for it. So basically, there must be teeth on the back of this, and it locks in to these here. Such a simple, novel design, for locking the bezel. I think that's so cool. So let's hear the action. Very, very positive. It's a 60-click bezel, so 1 click per minute. But if I was to screw the crown in here, so that's tight now, that's it, it's locked. Locked in position there. Oh, not quite, there we go. So that's locked. And I think that is just such, it's so simple and cool. So you have to release the bezel, release the crown there, and then you can do it. As you can see, if you release the crown all the way, this you can actually move, but you don't actually have to do that. If I just push it in a little bit more, it still moves. And does it line up? Yep, I've gone one too far. Let's just line that up. Cool. And it's locked in position. Novel, simple, just a really clever way of having a fully lockable bezel. It is only one way, it is unidirectional, so that's it. It's superb, really good, clever little system. I like that. So as we come past that, the body of a watch, the actual body, it's so slim and slinky. It really is quite cool. Obviously you have a crown there with the crown guards and the logo on the side of there. What I think is quite interesting, I'm getting a bit geeky here, but you can see the bezel goes all the way down to here. Would be really interesting to remove that and see how it looks underneath. I'm guessing it acts as a lock on the crystal. I'm not 100% sure, but could be. So that's quite an interesting feature on, I say feature, a build on there. I'm not seeing it done on any others at the moment. So as we come past that, we look round to the back. The back, unfortunately, you can't see their movement, which is a little bit of a shame. The actual movement back there is, I say, the YEMA2000. It has power reserve approximately 42 hours. They do rave on about their regulation of it. So they say it should be no more than plus or minus 10 seconds. Now, I put this on the time grapher. I think it was coming out at 2 seconds, roughly. Maybe a smidge over -2. So, but I say, this watch, you know, I'd be intrigued to see when it's on the wrist. I bet it would work out pretty good. Now, it's a 29 dual movement, and I say it's this movement they've had out since 2011. So, yeah, it must be tried and trusted, so no problem at all. We have this very solid looking case back on there. As you can see, it looks really nice with this imprint there going on in the center. Now, let me put this on my wrist so you got an idea how it looks. Now, one thing I should say about the company as well, they do free delivery and a 14-day returns on free return on the watch, so no problem at all. Quick wrist check. I'm wearing my Zin EZM1, and Bob, as I say, he's got the slightly larger version of that with this absolutely gorgeous bezel. I think it is really, really cool. So anyway, let me take this off. Now, one thing I should have said before is the bracelet on this, you do have fold over clasp. The clasp is okay. It's not the best, to be fair, but it does the job. Let's open that, and you do have dive link extension. It does look quite a cool dive link extension as well on there. It's very well made. So anyway, my wrist size is 7¼ inches. And that's how it looks. So 39mm watch on my 7¼ inch wrist. I think personally that looks absolutely superb. I would be more than happy to own this watch. I think it is absolutely lovely. Really, really nice watch. I think they've got an absolute winner on their hands there. Considering the price of just about $12.50 US, round about £1,000. I think you're getting an awful lot of watch here. An in-house movement, a brand with kind of good, rich history to it. I think you don't, definitely a quality watch. I really do like this one. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think of it in the comments. And most importantly, stay safe out there. Bye.